Hi team, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Rizwan. I'm the solutions architect in XenTegra. And today we're going to be talking about zero trust strategy that is leveraged in Omnissa, Workspace One and Horizon solutions. So thank you everybody for joining here. We'll go ahead and walk you down through the complete presentation. So the webinar talks about complete zero trust security approach and how Omnissa end user computing solutions would be leveraging this technology across on their endpoint device management as well as on the virtualization segment. Before we talk about how what Omnissa Workspace One does, we're going to also talk about the definition of what zero trust approach is. So zero trust security is basically a concept. It is not a solution which is defined by a specific vendor or specific manufacturer. It's a concept which is utilized across all the vendors' solutions and the manufacturers' solutions actually as a standard, as a base standard, which defines a complete granularity across on any kind of for any kind of security vulnerability. It all started with a basic infrastructure. Like long time back, when we used to have infrastructure, we just had one layer of infrastructure, which was called a trusted zone or a LAN zone. And in this zone, we're going to be having servers, computers, network switches, routers, as well as users, as well actually sitting in office and working on multiple applications, which are also hosted in that trusted infrastructure. Now, with a lot of advancements and with a lot of other use case being getting changed every now and then, the trusted zone is no longer one single zone. It's you have multiple layers being added to the trusted zone. Now you have other zones as well which are coming up, like DMZ, which basically hosts the web applications or any kind of application servers which needed access from outside. And now we're providing access to these resources from literally for any user, any type of users, any type of work styles for that matter. Users sitting in office, the users coming through a public network, the users coming through VPN, the contractor users, and all kinds of users who are being coming in. Like if you see the non-trusted environment, you also see cloud-based applications being leveraged and being utilized across for all the by all the end users. Now, with this, the moment the user is able to log into these applications, they are able to successfully log in. However, when they are inside the network, they have access to almost all the applications, and there's no other authentication or verification which has been done for the end users. Now, this brings a piece of zero trust security, where zero trust security provides you the capability of explicitly authenticating these users. The biggest mantra that zero trust security provides you is never trust by default, but always verify and verify explicitly, which means that anybody who tries to log into your resource, uh, verify that, verify that entity, verify that request and response at each and every step. And when we talk about zero trust security, we talk about 5 different attack vectors that is usually compromised when when a vulnerability is exploited across by any adversary. These are the users, devices, network, the application, as well as data. Now, and that's where zero trust security comes in, where you define not only the authentication piece, but also it defines the conditional access, where you can go ahead and define dynamic and actual contextual, like a continuous access context. Um, if you look at the employees who work on, gradually down the line, employees get access to multiple other resources, and this causes privilege creep. With principles of least privilege, you can mitigate this vulnerability as well. You can go ahead and enforce the access control, which is defined for the end users, specifically do their job and complete for the day. Complete for the day. And finally, in zero trust security approach, we also have to assume that a breach can happen anytime when the user is connecting to the application or accessing any resources. With Omnissa providing end-user computing solutions, the solutions addresses almost all factors of zero trust security. Omnissa provides multiple range of solutions, starting right from the endpoint management solution, which is called Unified Endpoint Management, the Workspace One UEM. The Workspace One UEM provides you the endpoint management. Now, with this, the users can literally have any kind of device. It can be a cell phone, it can be a mobile device, it can be a desktop or a laptop or a factory provision device like a rugged device. It can also be a Chrome OS for that matter. So be it any kind of device that you get it across, that can be 100% managed from Workspace One UEM. So UEM provides you a strong visibility and a better control across all of these devices. It also provides you device-based compliance, which ensures that device remains compliant at any moment of time, and with any of the user's location, irrespective of the user's location. One of the best part that users also provides, Workspace One UEM also provides is data remnants. So it ensures that it prevents data remnants. It ensures that the data is not remaining any of the devices when the device is completely completely out of the in the compromised state, and the device is completely out of the enrollment. Going ahead further, Workspace One also provides Workspace One Access. The Workspace One Access is a single piece of identity and access management solution that provides not only user authentication, but it also provides you single sign-on capability. With single sign-on capability, it not only provides you a good end-user experience, but also provides um, a single sign-on to all the application, which means that the user will not need to maintain the user credentials for multiple applications. They don't have to save their credentials in the browser or any other repository, which can be easily attacked, which can be easily hacked. Secondly, the user's Workspace One Access also provides MFA, which is a very strong factor of authentication, and which ensures that an authentic user has logged into the resource and get access to all kinds of resources that he wants to. Device-based controls, that's one thing that Workspace One Access works in conjunction with Workspace One UEM, as well as also provides conditional access to the application resources. The third is Unified Access Gateway. Unified Access Gateway, in a broad perspective, integrates with Workspace One UEM as well as Omnissa's virtualization solution, which is called Horizon. Unified Access Gateway provides a single sign-on solution, plus it provides a reverse proxy, which ensures that all the connection which comes across to the environment does not directly connect to the end resources. It has to go ahead, hit the Unified Access Gateway, make a gateway connection, and then log in. And finally, is the Horizon. It's webinar.
You're going on with the webinar, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, it's a Horizon, which is basically which provides you virtual applications and desktop session, um, which basically provides you access to a virtualized instance of your resources. Together, all of these components constitute zero trust security across. And if you look at the environment, if you look at the architecture diagram, that will be self-explanatory. However, we can go ahead and we can see the minute details on how the zero trust is leveraged across. Take a look at this example where we talk about how a feature of Horizon, which is called DEM, Dynamic Environment Manager, can go ahead and can mitigate access to a command prompt. Now, when we go ahead and define the controls on a Horizon environment, Dynamic Environment Manager plays a very important role. With Dynamic Environment Manager, you can define dynamic controls on the machines, on the user access, as well as on the virtualization desktop. So you go ahead on the console, you can simply go ahead. Let's say, for example, if you want to go ahead and block the access to the command prompt, you can simply go ahead, configure that command actually on the Dynamic Environment Manager. So with this, the users would not be able to have access to the command prompt on the virtualization infrastructure. And this can be assigned literally to any kind of assignments. So in this scenario, we are talking about uh, any devices which are in the range of specific IP address. But then you can define literally to any of the policies or any of the other features. Just say, for example, endpoint devices, or even if the user is coming from an external or a public network or an internal network. So basically, if you look at the nutshell on 5 different attack vectors, Workspace One in conjunction with Horizon provides you access and provides you mitigation rules across all the 5 different attack vectors. So if you look at user trust, if you look at the device trust, sorry, we talk about device management, talk about complete visibility of those devices, compliance of those devices, starting right from control actions of these devices, as well as device authentication. So we can define certificate level authentication or compliance level authentication on these devices. We talk about user trust. We can we define single sign-on, which basically ensures that users, authorized and genuine users, authenticated users are logging on to the application. We provide MFA, the multi-factor authentication process in conjunction with Workspace One UEM and Workspace One Access. We define conditional access, and we also define dynamic risk scoring on the devices or the user action. So dynamic risk scoring is one of the most typical and the most important and interesting feature actually on Workspace One, where it can define how what are the users' activities. So based on users' activity, anomaly detection can be done, and a UEBA can be achieved actually with respect to dynamic risk scoring. On the network side, we can define microsegmentation, which basically involves VMware NSX solution. We define transport encryption as well as session protection. On the application side, we can define complete encrypted sessions. When you make a connection to the application, the end user resources, it's a secure AES 256-bit encryption that comes across on the user segment. And finally, is the data trust. So we can define encryption at rest. We can also ensure that data is resilient. Data is, we have a genuine data, we have a clear data here in terms of quality, and we ensure that the data is 100% accurate by having integrity solution be leveraged across the platform. We also define data loss prevention, where we can ensure that data is not being accidentally or intentionally leaked out from a secure environment. And we can also define data classification. So if I have to go ahead and define the architecture and segregate those architectures in terms of how user trust is obtained, or device trust, or network trust, this is how it would look like. So you have the user's device, which has been enrolled with Workspace One platform and have in conjunction with Workspace One access. And we define the network and the application data trust actually on the complete infrastructure. So you go ahead when you define the application or data trust, you basically go ahead and enroll the device, define all the DLP capabilities, configure the complete virtualization solution at the data center, and you have an enrolled device, which is a managed and a visible device actually, which is trying to access the virtualization platform. You also ensure with this that um, not a non-managed device would not be able to. You cannot use a non-managed device to access any virtualization infrastructure. And with this, you also ensure that the user connectivity and right from the device till the backend infrastructure is completely secure. Finally, we have Workspace One Intelligence, which basically provides you a complete rich analytics and deep analytics side, and 100% and a complete monitoring solution across on the Workspace One platform. With Workspace One Intelligence acting as the data lake, it basically goes ahead, aggregates all kinds of data which it collects from the device, from the users, as well as from the user sessions, and provides you a granular reporting on how the end user security is maintained and how the end user experience is maintained across in a platform. The intelligence service is a cloud-based service. and it doesn't need to have any bigger configuration. The configuration is natively built across. You just have to go ahead, add additional tools and additional settings, and that's it. You're up and running with the Workspace One Intelligence platform. Finally, we have Omnissa Marketplace. Now, security, if you look at the security, it is not a one-vendor solution. It has to be a solution that can integrate and form a complete ecosystem with multiple other solutions. So Omnissa Marketplace provides that trusted network solution for you, where you go ahead and you can integrate across with various other solutions, be it Netscope, be it Dell, be it any other solution that Lookout for that matter, or Pradio for that matter, any other solution that you come across, Workspace One solution can go ahead and define that integration and provide you a complete rich analytics with these solutions. And please let us know if you have any other details, any other questions, or do revert back to us if you need any queries, if you want to know more details about it. Please feel free to contact us again, and we should be able to give you all the support. And thank you very much, and you have a nice day ahead.